Hi everyone. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good?
Good.
Nice. So, I guess we will start our class today. So today, as you guys saw in the email yesterday, we'll learn about prefixes, suffixes, and roots more in depth, and we'll also focus more on how they can help your vocabulary. Because in the National Spelling Bee and in many vocabulary bees, knowing the roots will actually help you get a couple of vocab words right on these tests. So let me share my screen. So today's all about prefixes, suffixes, and roots. So what are the importances of prefixes and suffixes? In some words, there are prefixes, suffixes, both or none. These are certain patterns that can come before or after the base word, and this base word is also called a root word. And this can help you find more patterns in words to help you spell them right. So as you see in this picture we have here, the un is the prefix and the able is the suffix and the accept is the root word. And therefore we get unacceptable. And here is a quick video on prefixes and suffixes. Let me just make sure I share my sound.
2021 high school grads can get up to $2,800 per year to cover all tuition costs at any North Carolina campus.
Sorry for the ad, but
Tuition-free degree with no strings attached. Find out if
can everyone hear the
you're eligible
video,
for
please, or the ad?
grant money now.
So can you guys hear this video?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Amelia. In this video, we will look at how to take words you already know and make them into new words. All you have to do is add a few letters before the word. These are called prefixes. Or add a few letters after a word. These are known as suffixes. Here's an example. Place, replace, replacement. Be careful. You can't do this with all vocabulary, but you can have fun experimenting to see which ones work and which ones don't. Let's look at prefixes first. We all know the word do. Did you know that you can redo something? And if you're not happy with it, you can undo it too. What does the prefix re mean here? That's right. Re means again. So if you redo something, you do it again. And what about un in undo? Un is an opposite. So if you undo something, you reverse what you have done. Here's another prefix. What does it mean? Disagree, dislike, disallow, disappear. Dis also means not or reversal. Now let's look at...
So you'll also have a lot of these suffixes that mean not or the opposite of something. So un is one of them and dis is another one of them. And Adia has a question. Adia.
Do we have, which class is this? It's the fourth class?
Yeah, this is the fourth class.
Okay, so after the fifth class, will we have homework? If we don't, then
So after the fifth class, you guys will have to study for your spelling bee for the sixth class.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thanks.
So
some suffixes.
What's our homework?
We do not have any homework in this class, as I said. Your homework is just to study the words that I gave you guys.
An adjective. How can we make it into a noun? Simple. Just add the suffix ness. Happy plus ness equals happiness. Here are two more adjectives to express feelings, sad and tired. To make the noun, you just add the same suffix. Have a look. Sad plus ness equals sadness. Tired plus ness equals tiredness. There are a few more prefixes and suffixes that go with a range of words. Learning which ones to use and with which words may seem hard at first, but with time, you'll learn to hear what sounds right. Prefixes and suffixes are everywhere. Next time you're reading or listening to English, start noticing which beginnings and endings are being used. Make a note of them, and more importantly, use them. It's the only way to remember them. We hope you...
Okay, so how did everyone like that video? That was just a little short video on the introduction to prefixes and suffixes. And actually, I just want to clarify with the person who had the question about the homework. So, I mean, it's not homework, to be honest, but for the final spelling bee, there is this list called the Words of Champions. Let me see if I can find it. Words of the Champions. I sent this PDF to you guys, and I'm probably going to send it to you again a couple times before our final class. This is going to be the list that the regionals and the beginning rounds of the Scripps National Spelling Bee actually uses. So learning this list will be beneficial. So I'm just going to, for our final spelling bee, I'm going to quiz you guys on this Words of the Champions list. Loads. Actually, no. For our final spelling bee, as you see here, there is a 1B, there is a 2B, and there is a 3B list. A 3B. I know 3B will be very difficult. You guys probably won't study all of them. Like, you guys probably won't know all of them, but these are the words that we're gonna ask in our B. If you guys if you guys study well enough, we'll probably get into the later stages of 3B, but I doubt that. But this is the list that you guys are going to be studying. So the 1B is the easier words, then the 2B is the harder, decently hard words, and then 3B are very hard words. So you just have to use some of the tips that we learned in order to study these words. And on our fifth and sixth class, I'm also going to teach you guys a little bit on how to spell words that you don't really know the spellings of. So, sorry for that brief interruption. I just wanted to clear it up for everyone. Prefixes and suffixes have the similar spellings, so you can use these patterns that show up in words as your advantage as a speller to recognize these patterns and spell them right. Intro to prefixes. Some words have prefixes. These prefixes start the word for the base, and they all have a special meaning when we add on which when added onto the base word combines both meanings. An example is the word I'm muted. Could everyone hear me for the beginning? Or...
You were muted.
Oh, okay. So I'll just, yes. So some words have prefixes. These prefixes start the word for the base, and they all have a special meaning, which when added onto the base word combines both meanings. An example is the word underdeveloped. Developed means advanced or complete. Under means not enough. Combined, they mean not complete enough. Some examples are prefixes are a or an, which means not or without. And examples are atheist and anemic. So as you guys see here, an atheist, the root B means God, and a means not. So an atheist does not believe in God. Yeah, unmuted, not. Anti means before. And even anti is itself a root word. It's actually a bet that you put in the first bet that you put in a game of like card games or something. And ante means before. So some examples are antecedent or antebellum. So antecedent means preceding before something, while antebellum means coming before a war. Contra means against. An example is contrary, against the norm. Dia means across. An example is diagonal. It's a line that goes across a shape. Excuse me. So hemi means half, and so does bi. Bi means half or two. And an example is hemisphere. Intra means inside, and some examples are intramural or intracellular. And actually, while I'm doing that, I need to clear a common confusion up. So as it says there, intra means inside, and intracellular means something that happens inside of a cell. What people can get this confused with is inter, and these are actually two completely different prefixes. And inter actually means between. So whenever you guys fly an international flight, that means it's a flight that's going between two nations or two countries. That's international. So I just want to clear that up. Hyper means more than, and some examples are hypersonic and hyperactive. Hypo means under, and an example is hypothermia. So this is also another trip up spot. And whenever I note these trip up spots, these are usually like very important. Like even the best spellers can get confused with these. So best spellers and even the best people at vocabulary can get confused with these. So I want you guys to take note of these really well. Like just remember them really well. So hyper means more than, and hypo means under. So when your body heat is way too high, like when your body heat is way too hot, you're suffering from hyperthermia, meaning more than the temperature. When your body is way too cold, you are suffering from hypothermia. So I just wanted to make that important note. And then trans means across, and some examples are transatlantic and transportation. So transatlantic means like crossing the Atlantic Ocean. So did was everyone able to follow me there? Yeah, everyone's good. Here I just have some other common, yes, I got it. So here I just have some common prefixes if you guys. So here are some other common prefixes. So pre means earlier than, before. So a predecessor is something that happens before. Per means throughout or thoroughly. And this actually comes from Latin. If any of you guys take Latin or will take Latin in the future, per means through something in Latin. So that's where this root word comes from. Perpetuity, permit. I already went over inter. This is an important one, means again. So rehabilitation means something that happens again. And you guys can see here, uni means one, like unicorn, means one horn. Bi means two. So if you bisect something, you're cutting it into two parts. And die means two. as in dioxide means 2 oxygen atoms. And then pro means forward or forward. So propulsion is when you throw something forward. And anti, this is one of those against ones are not prefixes. Anti means against or opposite to something, such as antibacterial, kills bacteria. These are some other prefixes. So ab means from or away. So when you abrade from something, you are kind of taking stuff off from it. Like when you sand something, you're abrading it. Com or con, it means with or together. So a community is someone who's buy and die. So I'm pretty sure that buy and die came from 2 different languages. Like I think buy came from Latin and die came from Greek. So they both have the same meaning from 2 different languages, and both of them got into English to answer your question. And now back to com or con. So a community is a group of people who stick together. Sub means under or below. So if you are so a submarine, this is an easy one. A submarine is something that goes under the water. And then let me see any other important ones. D and dis also mean against, or with and against or do the opposite of. Add means to or toward. And dia, as we saw in diagonal, is through or across. And this is a pretty common one that comes up a lot. Ex means outside of or outside. Like an exit is something that leads you out of a building. And then miss is bad or wrong. Like misfortune is something that went bad. And then here are some more prefixes. I don't know. Let me check the time now real quickly. So 9:28. I think we have time to briefly go over some more prefixes. So I'll also send a presentation to you guys so you guys can study on your own. And most of these aren't really hard to spell, but these are just really good to know for your general knowledge. Like they'll help you on the vocabulary sections a bunch. And also, if you're stuck on a word, starting with the prefixes, suffixes, and root words, if they are present, can help you start like moving forward with the spelling of the word. So here's a list of prefixes. This is a pretty extensive one. I'm not going to go over everything. You guys can look at this a little bit more on your own time, but I just wanted to show these good lists to you. And if you're ever interested, you can just look up list of prefixes online. That's what I did. So this will help. Learning these prefixes will help your spelling a bunch. So we got some that we didn't cover before. We got ben, which means good, and that benevolent means something that is good. Circum means around, and that circumference or circumscribe comes from that. And U means good or normal. So yeah, and then for means before. So if you foresee something, you see into the future. Here's the hypo that I said. Macro and micro are also 2 root words that are pretty common and can be confused. So macro is large, like macrobiotic or macrocosm or macroeconomics. Even macroeconomics is focused more on large scale economics, while micro means small. So microscope and microeconomics focuses on smaller scale economics. And then mono means one, like monolingual is someone who can only speak one language, and multi means many. So, and if you guys have any questions on some of these prefixes that I'm going over, you guys can ask questions. I'll be more than happy to explain anything to you guys. I want you guys to be interactive with this too. So if you guys have any questions, just please let me know. So non here means not or lacking, as in nonsense. And we have omni, which means all. So omnipotent is someone who has all power. Omnivorous is someone who has who eats everything. Peri means around. Peri means around, and this is contradicting to the PER, the per that we learned before, which means to go through. Poly means many. So polygon is something that has many angles or many sides. Quad means four. So a quadrangle has four angles. 4 angles and 4 sides. Super or supra means above or excessive, as in a superlative is like the highest form of an adjective, like the most or the biggest, or like the biggest form of the adjective, you can say. Yeah, like quadruplets, as Yami said. Quadruplets are 4 kids. Someone that has 4 kids at a time. Try here means 3. So we saw uni, buy, or die, and then try means 3. And then ultra is beyond or excessive. And I guess those are the main ones that we covered. So, did I lose anyone talking about those prefixes, or is everyone still good? Good.
One question.
Oh yes. Please tell me your question.
Can you go back to the trans thing?
Yep. Trans.
Is trans-Neptunian object also fitting in there? Because is a cross and Neptunian is related to Neptune, so trans-Neptunian objects are objects across Neptune.
I believe that would fit. I don't really know exactly what you're talking about, but I believe with the context that you've given me that it would fit. So yeah. It's really good to get you guys thinking about your own words and own experiences that you guys have and relating them to some of the words that we see in class. So that's very nice that you guys are using your brain and connections a little bit more there. So we learned about prefixes, now learn about suffixes. Suffixes are the groups of words that are repeatedly put at the end of words to change the word's meaning. They come after the word and add a different connotation, part of speech, or meaning to the word. And suffixes don't really define the word as much as you would see a prefix. Like they don't define the meaning as much, but they can change the tone and maybe even the part of speech of a word. So an example is the word pianist. So the base word is piano. You guys know that's an instrument. But the ist suffix implies that it is a person who plays the piano, and that's what pianist means. So here's a brief list of suffixes here. And as you guys see, suffixes aren't, what I mean by they don't really define the word as much, their meanings aren't really as clear. As you see, and e, it just means a person who does something. So they don't really have like specific root words like water for aqua or something or anything like that. But they do kind of change the word somewhat. So I'll give you guys a quick second to look at this chart. ask me any questions about these basic suffixes, and then we'll go into more complex suffixes. So yep. Yeah, I guess we can go on now. So here are some examples of suffixes. We'll just go to this URL. It's easier to do that than to look at these. So we'll just go to this link and look at some suffixes. I can explain some suffixes to you. So this is a super comprehensive list of suffixes. You don't need to know all of these in order to become good, but you just need to know how they can be used in words. And when you learn suffixes, it also helps you learn the words that have that suffixes. And some of these words can be very confusing to the beginner speller. So able, the suffix able means able to be. So excitable is able to be excited. Ac means pertaining to. So hemophiliac is someone who has hemophilia, which is a disease. And cardiac is relating to the heart. Odd and age are basically the same thing, action or process, like a blockade or a pilgrimage. Aholic is someone who has an obsession with. So an alcoholic is someone who is has an obsession with alcohol. Not a great thing. Al means relating to. So bacterial means relating to this is basically very general relating to a suffix. Algia means pain. This doesn't really come up that much. Only in like super basic, super tough words. Like as in neuralgia, pain in the neurons. And then AN or IAN is relating to or belonging to. So Italian, urban, African, any nationalities, most words, anything relating to or something. ANT is a person who. So this is one of those person suffixes that we saw. I'll just go over this briefly. And you guys can look at any of these. You guys can ask me any questions, as I said earlier, or you guys can look at this on your own time to study. And we will have a quiz on these, some suffix words. I'm not going to make them super tough. We'll have 7 spelling words and 3 vocab words for next week. And then Aryan is a person who does something, such as an ant and such as an ant, or R even as in beggar. So for Aryan, we have a vegetarian or a librarian. So side is the act of killing. This is a very common one, as in like pesticide or something. Crassy is a ruling government or power. So usually at the end of forms of government, beside like communism and something, like there's usually crassy, or the other common root for ending for government names is archy. And you guys can see that in monarchy. And crassy is in theocracy or democracy that we have. And then a crat, coming from this root, is someone who has power in a government. Then we have cule means diminutive, to make something small. So ridicule is to tease someone into, like, make them look smaller. Ear is one of those associated with or engaged with one of those people words that we said. So engineer or a volunteer. And so is E as a nominee or employee. And N here makes the word a verb. So when you awake, awaken. ER is a person who does an action as a barber or a teacher. EE means relating to a place. So this is another one of those nationality words, as in IAN was another nationality word, like as such as in African or Italian. But here you can see E's as in Chinese or Vietnamese. Esque means in the style of. So if something's grotesque, it's very fancy and like overdone. Est is a superlative ending meaning the most, as in funniest or silliest. Gammy right here means marriage or union. So a polygamy means someone who is married many times. IAN and IAL mean relating to. So let me keep looking. And most of these are very easy, I guess. I'm only going over some of the ones that could trip you guys up. So ism means state or quality. Itis means inflammation, and it is pretty common in diseases such as appendicitis or tonsillitis. Isation is the act or process of making. So when someone is going through colonization, they're turning a place into a colony for them. And logist or log is one who does, such as an astrologer studies astrology, and a cardiologist studies the heart. Oma, this one's not as common, but oma over here means tumor or swelling. And phobia, this one you guys are all familiar with, means an abnormal fear of. And pathy here is feeling or diseased. Phone means sound, as in telephone. Plant, fight means to plant or grow. Nia, the P here is silent, which can trip you guys up. Nia means air or spirit, as in apnea or pneumatic. Sect means to cut. And Tomi also means to cut here. So does anyone have any questions on any of the suffixes that I missed? As I said, suffixes aren't really more defining the word, but they can change how the word can be used in a sentence. So now that's a good list of suffixes, so we can move on to root words. So roots are the core of a word that usually come from another language, like Latin or Greek are the main ones. These roots have a specific meaning, like side to kill. And these root words are usually the center of words, like the thing that has the main meaning. So it is very helpful to know these for spelling and vocabulary practice. This is a video link. You guys know what root words are. I don't think you guys need it. So these are Latin and Greek roots, and I believe we went over them last class. So here's a comprehensive list of 120 root words. You don't need to know all of these, but I want you guys to have a pretty good handle on these because I'm going to ask questions from this. Spelling and vocabulary. So we'll start from the top here. So ab, we already went over. Ambi means both or around. So someone who's ambidextrous is dominant in both hands. Anthro or anthrope means human. So anthropology is the study of humans. and an anthropologist studies humans. Ast means star as an asterisk or astronomy. Odd means to hear as an audio or audience. Bene means good as to benefit, benign. Bi means to, as in die does also. Cent means 100. So a century is 100 years. This was one of our percent, I think, or century. This was one of our vocabulary questions for the last class. Circum. Excuse me, guys. So cred here means to believe, as in incredible or discredit. And dec means 10, as in a decade is a span of 10 years. Like century is a span of 12 years. 100 years. So now dict, we went over this one last time, but this is to speak or say, as in to dictate, you are speaking out to someone. Frag here means to break, as in a fragment is a part of something, and fragile is something that can break very easily. Full is full of. So when something's painful, this is kind of like repetitive, but it's basically full of pain. Gen means born, as in Genesis or gene. Graph means to write, as in paragraph or calligraphy. So you guys know that aqua is the Latin root word for water, but another root word that for water that came into English is the Greek one, which is hydro and hydra. And you guys can see this in hydrate or hydrogen. Isle means related to. And here's our intra prefixes. Yeah. Ject means to throw in between, just means to throw. Interject is to throw in between. Junct is a join. So a juncture is where people join. Like a juncture is where two things meet or cross, like train lines or something. Less is without, as it's kind of self-explanatory. Homeless is someone that does not have a home. Mag means large or great. So when you magnify something, you make it look large. Mega means large, as in megabyte or megaphone. Meaty means middle, as in medium is something that is in the middle, or mediocre is a average performance. Micro means small, as in microscope, and min also means small, as in miniature or minimum. Miss or mit is to send. So if you transmit something, you're sending it someone. Mono means one. So a monologue is when one person talks. Mort, Micronesia is that's a country of very, very small, like they're very, very small islands. So that's why it's named that. Multi means many, as in multicolored. Octo means 8, as in octopus has 8 arms. And pat means disease, as in a pathogen is something that can carry diseases. So ped here means foot. So pedal or pedestrian. Phobia is a fear of. So claustrophobia is a fear of small spaces. Hydrophobia is the fear of water. I don't know if anyone has that. Yes, Ade, do you have?
I have a fear of deep water.
Excuse me, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I have a fear of deep water.
You have a fear of deep water. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
some people have that. I think that hydrophobia is a little bit more intense than that, though. Hydrophobia is like the fear of actual water touching your skin. I don't know if anyone has that. I also have a fear of like deep water, deep ocean water, because I can't really see anything in it. But yeah, that's a legitimate fear to have. So phobia is basically any fears, and I'm sure everyone has a couple of them. Phone means sound. So a telephone is something that carries sound. Let me see. Port means to carry, as in transport or airport. Airport is something that carries things by air. Portland. Yeah, I think that doesn't really come more from port than it does come from the actual word port, meaning on the sea. Both Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon are on the sea and have actual like sea ports. So I think it comes more from that than the actual this root, I guess. If that makes sense for Harlick's question. So psych here means mind, psychology or psychic. Retro means back, as in retrospect or retrograde. When someone goes retro, they go back in time. Semi is in half. So we saw the other word hemi. Hemi means half, as in hemisphere. Semi can also mean half, as in a semicircle or a semifinal. And then soci are people, as in social or sociology. Struct means to build, as in construction or structure. Terra means land or earth. So terrain is the kind of the physical features of land. The and Theo are God. So it is you can see that in theology and monotheism. Tract is to drag or pull, as in attract is to drag stuff closer to you. Then just the last ones. Uni means one. You guys already know that. Vac means empty, as in vacuum is a place of no emptiness. Vert means to turn, as in reverse when you do the opposite of something, so you do turn around. Vid or vis means to see, as in visible or video. And zoo means animal, as in zoology or zookeeper. So that was basically everything roots. And you guys probably have a bunch of stuff in your brain and you're like, what do we do with it? So now we can use root words to help identify the roots of these words. So I want to give you guys a couple minutes and type into the chat the definitions of the separate roots that you guys see in this word, and then combine them together to find a definition for them.
I can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen?
No.
Okay, let me stop share and then share again. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why it does. Share screen. Now can you see it, Adia?
No. And whenever I go to the chat, your screen seems to go away. I don't know why. Is it like the same thing?
Maybe you made your chat full screen, so I you don't make your chat full screen then.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is odd. I don't know how that is happening. So if that is a problem, I'll just put the words in the chat. So I want to give you guys a couple minutes or so to. So every word that I put on the screen here has two roots. I mean, not two roots, but I guess to say two root words, or a prefix and a root word, or a prefix and a suffix, or something. So I'll just give you guys an example. So let me say automobile. So auto would mean self, and mobile would mean like something that can move, or a vehicle. An automobile is a vehicle that you drive by yourself. I mean that, and I'm going to say this. Whenever you mix your root words together and put out your root word definition, like 90% of the time it's not going to make perfect sense. But this helps you get like a idea, I guess, of a word, of the word. Yep. So Alia said Iraq, phobia, fear of spiders. Nice. So I'll just give you guys a couple more minutes. And I just want to point out that as you guys can see here, using root words is the beginning of learning having a good vocabulary. The National Spelling Bee, uh, they know that spellers know root words really well. So the National Spelling Bee doesn't really use root words doesn't use root words in their actual vocab, but these are good for your daily day-to-day conversation or anything. And in our next class, we will study vocabulary a little bit more. Sorry, the three actual words, so I just typed the three actual words that we're doing. If you guys just want to take some time and just I'll give you probably 2 more minutes and then you guys can define them. And then we will move on to our quiz for today. Yep. Okay, so as you guys see, you guys can use these root words. This exercise was just to show that you guys can use root words to find the definition of words rather easy, even if you do not really know those words that often. So what we're gonna do now is we can take a 10-minute break now. I know it's early morning. And then once you guys come back, we will have our quiz on our spell it etymology words. Today we're not quizzing Latin and Greek as we did that last time, but today we're just doing our regular other languages, any other languages. So were you guys able to use some of the tips that I gave you last week in just looking up the words in the Merriam-Webster dictionary and finding patterns from there? Were you guys able to, how'd you guys study for spell it, these words? Or how did you? I don't think suicide is that.
Really?
I believe suicide means to kill yourself. Thing.
When I meant risking, I meant killing yourself to save someone else or
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys can take a 10-minute break now. Come back at 10:10, and then at 10:10 we will have our quiz for today. Is that good for everyone?
I have one question.
Yes.
How do we do the quiz?
Were you here in the previous classes?
No.
Oh, okay. So what we
I
did,
was only here for one class.
so what we did in the previous classes, if you're here for one class, you'd probably know, you might know this, but what I would do is I would send out a Google form sheet to you guys, and then you guys would fill out that Google form.
Oh yeah, you'd send it in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, 10:10, I'll send you guys that. Meanwhile, you guys can take a break.
Okay.
I'll be here if you have any questions. Okay, everyone. So, are you guys able to access the link that I put in the chat?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good. So this will be our quiz for today. And as you guys have seen, I added a mandatory question at the bottom. So I want you guys to give me a couple of suggestions for what we should do next class. It has to be spelling related or vocabulary related, unfortunately. And I'll take the best suggestions because I do not have much planned for next class as I want it to be a little bit more open for you guys. So what do you tell me what you guys want to do in your spelling class to make your spelling skills better for our spelling bee, which is just
We can do a Kahoot or Book It because not only it makes you smarter, but faster and more accurate.
okay, yes. I actually love Blooket. So whenever you finish it,
Same here. That's what I was thinking. I was just typing that in right now.
yeah. So yeah, I good spelling. I found a couple good spelling Blooket. So please fill that out in your form once you guys are done with the quiz now. So let me just get some water. So is everyone on the quiz right now?
Oh, I have one more question. So
Yeah.
when you studied, because I wasn't here for the past few classes, so I don't know. Is this about this class?
Unfortunately, it is not. So you might be left in the dark a little bit because this is pertaining to the stuff that we did last week about etymologies. So it might be a little bit confusing for you. If you wish not to do the quiz, I can give you some time to prepare the. Is this Ria talking?
Yes.
If you wish not to do the quiz, I can give you some time, maybe, to study it if you want for a later date. I think that'd be more fair. Whatever you decide, to be honest.
I'll try the quiz,
Okay.
but I don't think I'll get it right.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Everyone has no, not we don't get it right all the time. So this is basically I picked one word from different etymologies from that spell it list that I gave you guys. So now we are on word number 1. Word number 1. Escargot. Escargot. Escargot is a snail prepared for use as food. Etymology. French, from Middle French.
Boy, so word number 1 is escargot.
Yeah, escargot.
Tell me the definition.
Yes, I'll repeat everything one more time. Escargot. Escargot. It is a noun. The definition of escargot. A snail prepared for use as food. The fancy restaurant offered escargot as one of its main dishes. Escargot comes from French.
Okay.
Escargot. Escargot. So in like a normal written test, it's not allowed for you guys to ask me questions. But if you guys want to ask me any ask me to repeat anything that I said, I know it's not usually allowed, but it'll help you guys grow your spelling skills. So just ask me if you need any bits of information from the word again, besides the spelling.
What's the roots?
So this word, I believe it does not have any roots. I'm on the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and it does not list any roots. All it says is that it's French from Middle French, snail.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to inform you guys that mostly Latin and Greek words are the ones that'll have roots. You guys are
Is
wondering.
it like edible land snails?
Yeah, these are edible snails. A snail prepared for use as food. And then everyone just say you're done in the chat so then I can move on to the next question.
Wait, can you please repeat how you say it again?
So the word again is escargot.
Are we on the second word or the first word?
We're still on word one. Escargot. Escargot.
I mistakenly closed out of the chat. Can you send the link again?
Oh. Okay, I'll do that. Can you find it, the link now?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just everyone let me know when we are ready to move on to word 2. So I believe everyone is done with word number 1.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes?
First letter caps.
No caps. No caps for anything. Lowercase is better.
What about for your name? Can the first letter for your name be caps?
I don't care for I didn't assign any point value for your name. The only reason I said no caps is because if you guys use caps, you guys won't get good. You guys like it might correct you wrong.
Did you say the second word?
No, not yet. I will now say the second word. Our second word. Bratwurst, bratwurst, bratwurst. It is a noun. Bratwurst is fresh pork sausage for frying and grilling. Etymology. German, from Old High German Bratwurst. From brat.
When is etymology? When is etymology?
Can you say the definition?
Yes. Before the etymology is what we went over in classes 2. That's like origin of the word, language of origin.
Can you tell what the word was again?
Yes, I'll repeat all the information again. The word again is bratwurst, bratwurst, bratwurst. Bratwurst is a noun. The definition of bratwurst: fresh pork sausage for frying and grilling. At the cookout, they were cooking up big bratwursts. Bratwurst, singular noun. Oh, and just to be clear, I did not pick any plurals today. No, none of the words are plural. All of them are singular, I believe. Is everyone ready to move on to word number 3?
Oh, I just need you to say the
What's the meaning
again.
Okay, so word number 2. Bratwurst. Definition: fresh pork sausage for frying or grilling. Okay, I'll move on now. You know what? I just realized that my first two words were food related. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, like I was about to ask you, why are you picking foods?
And I just realized that I picked another food related word too. So our next word. And I just want to let you guys know that this has two spellings. So if you give either one of them, you're right. So the word here, word number 3. Word number 3 is kishka. Kishka. It's a noun. Definition of kishka: beef or fowl casing stuffed and cooked. Etymology: Yiddish from Slavic. Kishka. Kishka. It's a noun. The definition of kishka: beef or fowl casing stuffed, as with meat, flour, and spices, and cooked.
Can you give the alternative pronunciation?
There is no alternate pronunciations for this word. The last word, but this one doesn't.
What's the definition again?
Beef or fowl casing stuffed with meat, flour, and spices, and cooked.
Okay, thank you.
Can you do any vegetarian foods?
Sorry, man. Most cuisines don't really have. I'm vegetarian too, but most European cuisines don't really
I
have.
have a question.
How about like French vegetarian stuff? They're always like long words. Like a baguette.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, it was random. I went through the list. I picked words that I thought would be good.
From Czechia.
I knew that 2 of them, but I didn't realize the third one was going to be food related. I'm pretty sure my next one's not going to be food related if you guys want assurance.
So
just
what was the third word again?
Kishka.
Yeah, I'll just say it again. The word again is kishka.
It's
And everyone let me know when we're ready to move on to the next word.
Is that Slavic? Because you said it's Slavic.
Yeah, Yiddish and Slavic origin.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So now we are on to word number 4. Word number 4 is springbok.
What?
Give me a second. I know this is a little bit confusing for you, Ria, just because you weren't able to study these words. The word again is springbok. Springbok. Definition: springbok's a noun. The definition of springbok: a swift and graceful southern African gazelle, known for its habit of springing lightly and suddenly into the air. The definition has a little clue for you guys. Etymology: Afrikaans, from spring to jump, bok, male goat.
So springbok.
Yeah, springbok. The springbok was being chased by the cheetah. Springbok.
Is it like an antelope?
It's a gazelle, but it's like an ant.
Oh, okay.
So just anyone ask me questions. Oh, and then let me know when you guys are ready for the next word.
Done, but I still have one question. It's not about the word. Do cheetahs really eat springboks? Because you
I don't know, man. I just know that
Word are you on?
This is word number 4.
Can you repeat again?
The word again is springbok. Springbok. I know that cheetahs eat gazelles, and this is a type of gazelle. So I just deduced that cheetahs can eat springboks, but I can Google it if you have that question.
If the Springboks lives in Africa, probably.
Cheetahs eat springboks, and yes, it's true. Cheetahs do eat springboks.
They're in the region Southern Africa, not the country Southern Africa.
Did you do word 5?
No,
Okay.
yeah. If everyone's ready, I'm gonna move on to word number 5 now. Word number 5. And please listen to the definition, and the definition can help you here if you don't know the word. Word number 5. Romaji. Romaji. It's a noun. Definition: a method of writing Japanese characters in Roman characters. His etymology.
What was the fourth word?
Oh, fourth word. You want the fourth word?
I mean fifth word.
Sorry. The fifth word again, I'm gonna say it again, is romaji. Romaji. It's a noun. Definition: a method of writing Japanese in Roman characters. Etymology: Japanese. I'll repeat it one more time. Romaji. Romaji. It's a noun. Definition: a method of writing Japanese in Roman characters.
What's the root word?
This doesn't have any root words, but if you look in the definition, if you listen to the definition, you might catch a hint. And just to make sure, just to not confuse you guys, I really can't give you guys the root words. What in the National Spelling Bee, what you guys have to do is I'll explain the procedure to this a little bit more in depth after the quiz. But what you guys will have to do is you guys will have to give a pronunciation of the root word, give the language of origin, and give a definition of the root word, and ask them if that's in the word. So word number 5, once again, is romaji. Romaji. Is everyone ready? Looks like everyone's pretty good with that. I'll move on. Okay. Word number 6. Word number 6 is maraschino. Maraschino. It's a noun. Definition of maraschino: sweet liquor distilled from the fermented juice of a bitter wild cherry. My friend ordered a large maraschino at the bar. Etymology: Italian, from marasca, bitter wild cherry.
Are we on the sixth word?
Yes, this is the sixth word.
Can you repeat it?
What?
Can you repeat the sixth word?
I will repeat all the information one more time. The sixth word. Maraschino. Maraschino. It's a noun.
Why did you say two different pronunciations?
Because this word has two pronunciations. Some words have one pronunciation.
Can you tell the definition?
Yes, I'm gonna say all the information one more time. Sorry. The definition again is a sweet liquor distilled from the fermented juice of a bitter wild cherry. We'll say it again. Maraschino, maraschino. The etymology is Italian. Looks like everyone's pretty good, especially Hardik. He looks done with this word. So now we will move on to our final word, word number 7. Our word number 7. Let me get some water. This is a long word, guys. Word number 7. Conquistador. 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 Conquistador is a noun. Definition of conquistador. One that conquers, specifically a leader in the Spanish conquest of America. Example.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Yes, let me just give you guys an example sentence with it real quick. The conquistadors were responsible for the demise of the Aztecs and the Incas. Etymology of conquistador. Spanish from Latin. Conquistador. 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 And
Can you say it one more time?
yes, let me say it one more time. The word again is conquistador, conquistador, conquistador.
Are there 3 pronunciations?
Yes, there are 3 pronunciations.
I think I might get this one right.
That's good.
If you really look into it, you'll get it.
Yeah. I think for a lot of these words today that I chose some words that there are clues there. Like, I think in our 5th word, there is a pretty good clue in the definition.
Wait, let me see. Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone want me to repeat anything?
Can you repeat number 2?
Yeah, can you
Okay.
repeat number 2?
Okay, so word number 2. Word number 2 is bratwurst. Bratwurst. And I'm already gonna do a Blue-Kit game. So when you're typing in your thing, just type something else besides a Blue-Kit game for for what we're gonna do next class.
Okay, then
Why does it have an X sign for the last question?
Because
Sorry, next class.
sorry, let me take the point value off of it. I assigned a point value on it for some reason.
And it says it's wrong.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not gonna count you for that. Don't worry.
Can you tell the definition for number 2?
Number 2, bratwurst is a German sausage. Bratwurst.
Since we're already doing a booklet, I just wrote spelling Kahoot.
Okay.
Can we submit?
Yes, you guys can submit if you guys don't have any questions.
Can you do Romaji, the fifth word?
Oh, it's so close.
Let me see. Okay. So,
Instead of an wait, is everybody done?
no, not yet.
Okay. After they're done, then I'll point out my mistake. Oh my gosh. Got a lot. See?
Actually, you know what? Ria, don't say anything out loud, but I forgot to include the alternate spelling for word number 3 actually had 2 spellings. So don't say anything out loud, but I am going to give you credit for word number 3.
You are?
It's an alternate spelling.
Yay. See, I told you I was going to get word 7 right, but I didn't get a lot of the other one right. I got number 1 and number 7 right.
Nice.
Didn't get any other thing right.
So far, looks like we need 2 more people too. Yamini, you have a question?
On word number 1, it says that I got it right, but then it's showing that my spelling is wrong.
Word number 1.
Yeah, and I spelled it right.
Did it give you credit?
No.
No, Yamini, let me see.
For some of the words,
No,
my
no,
laptop like
Yamini.
auto-corrected it.
Yamini, I believe it gave you the point value. It's just what happens is I had to include alternate right answers because sometimes you guys can put a space after the word and it won't count it. So it gave you credit. It's just it wasn't the first answer.
I have a question.
So I'll just answer Yamini's question real quick. Yamini, you got it right. So it gave you credit.
And same thing with word 3.
Word 3, yeah, word 3, I need to correct everyone's. I didn't put the alternate spelling for it. That was my bad.
So I'm gonna type the spelling I put for word 3 in the chat privately. So yeah, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the alternate spelling that I was saying.
I got that correct?
Yeah, it wasn't the spelling that I gave in the list that I gave you guys, but I looked at it and it is an alternate spelling. So yeah. Okay. Everyone's done now anyway, so.
I have some problems for mine.
Who's this? Let me.
Ishita?
Ishita?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at yours real quick.
My laptop like auto-corrected some of them, like adding letters.
Let me look at yours real quickly. For which one?
For like number 7, the last letter, number 5, and number 2, I think. Most of them, I guess.
Okay, I'll look into it. Number 7, I'm sure number 7's a mistake, because I'll give you credit for number 7, I think, because I believe you on the autocorrect. But the other ones look like they're in the middle of the word, so I don't know if I can give you credit for them.
So you're gonna give me credit for the one that is more, but you said it's the alternate pronunciation. I mean alternate word.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, I'll give everyone credit. So actually, so it looks like we have 2 people who got a 6. I know Hardik, I mean, it's actually going to be a 7. So I think the 2 people who got a 6 were Hardik and Yamini. So, yeah. and both of them would have gotten a 7. So I will share my screen and we'll just go over everything real quickly. And before I do that, I want to tell you guys how to ask, because we learned about root words today, and I want you guys to be able to use them. So say you get the word aquarium. And you just want to make sure that it has the root aqua in it. So what you guys have to do is you have to say to the pronouncer, does this word contain the root aqua from Latin, meaning water? You have to give all 3 of those pieces of information. If you don't give any one of them right, then they won't give you guys the proper thing. So I have to make sure when you study roots, you should also study Greek etymologies and the definition too. So I'll just go over the words that we had today. The first word was escargot. It's a snail, so it has an extra T at the end. That tripped the people up. Bratwurst, most people got it right. It's just some people thought that the WORST, but it's WURST. That's a common German thing. Kishka, Adia, you have a question? Adia?
Oh, I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. So Kishka, I'll give everyone who said Kishka credit. Word number 4, Springbok. It doesn't really have a C there. So it's just B-OK. Romaji. It's Japanese, but the clue that I saw that it had was Rome. It didn't have the whole word though, which kind of made it a little bit confusing. Maraschino, most of you got it right. That's a tough word. And then the last word, conquistador. Most of you got it right. So that's good.
I can see your screen.
You can see my screen?
So I didn't know what the words, the correct spellings were.
Oh, no, I didn't want you to see my screen during the thing.
No, right now.
Oh, right now? I'll share it again then. I didn't really show anything. I just kind of show the words, like the graphics. Can you see?
I didn't see the correct answers.
Do you see them now? First word, ESCARGOT.
Yeah.
Second word, BRATWURST. Third word was KISKA or KISKE. Either one works. Springbok was SPRINGBOK. Word number 5 was ROMAJI. Word number 6 was MARASCHINO. And then word number 7 was CONQUISTADOR. And so I will look at your suggestions for what you said for what we'll do in our next class in preparation. Most of you guys said Blooket or Kahoot, and a couple of you guys said some other things. So I'll look into those. And I just want to make sure that you guys you guys should probably study just for yourselves, I guess. Probably, I don't want you guys to study too much. Just study a small amount, like 10 minutes a day is enough for our thing. So just study 10 minutes a day on some of the words in our words of the champions list, and you guys will be good. Does anyone have any questions for class?
Are you going to send it in the
Email?
Yeah, email.
Yeah, I'll do that. And for next class, our quiz for next class, we're gonna have a quiz next class, and it's just gonna be on prefixes and suffixes. So it should be pretty basic. Does anyone have any questions? No?
It's already 10:45.
Yeah, it goes by quickly, especially our quizzes. So I guess we will end class today. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, you guys have a good day. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.